Hello and welcome back to another video of EUC in Austin. This is Rachel and we are on the East Brushy Creek Trail here in Round Rock, and we are actually going on another ride here on this trail. We did an earlier one, and this is actually in February 2023, right after the ice storm that we had here in Texas. So we are starting here at Lake Creek Park in Round Rock. And if you saw our other video, the difference is this video is actually shot in 4K versus our other videos have been in 1080p. So going forward, we are going to shoot our videos in 4K to make for a better viewing experience. As you can see, there are a lot of tree branches here. We're going to be dodging these tree branches throughout the video here. So because we just had that ice storm here in Texas. So I hope you enjoy this video here of our ride on the East Brushy Creek Trail right after the ice storm. Okay, here is the Dog Depot Dog Park. Oh, here we are dodging these tree branches, and it is behind the Lake Creek Pool, and you will see the dogs here on the left hand side. And we have yet to take our dog. We do have a dog at this dog park. It looks like a great place to take your dog, to have them roam around. The dogs always look like they're having fun, to also socialize and meet other dogs. Okay, there's a scooter kid right there. And we are continuing on this ride at the East Brushy Creek Trail here in Round Rock. So if you see my husband and my daughter, they are carving, and that is actually a riding technique, going from side to side to side. And they've done it in some of our other videos. If you've watched some of our other videos on our channel on EUC in Austin, doing the side to side riding technique, which is called carving, and it just gives you more stability as a rider. So you probably learn that once you continue to learn how to ride an electric unicycle, if that's one of the things that you want to do as a rider. I want to say that we all are riding different wheels here. My husband and I were both on heavier wheels. My husband is on a Commander by Extreme Bull, which is a heavy wheel, great wheel. And my daughter actually moved up to the Mountain Climber by Bagode. So she was riding that smaller wheel, the M10-3, in some of our other videos. But she's moved on to upgrade to a bigger wheel. And this is the Mountain Climber by Bagode that my husband was riding in other videos. So it just gives us more battery life and more range in terms of how far we can go as riders. For me, I'm actually on a different wheel. The V11, it has been repaired and it is working, but I basically started riding my husband's bigger wheel, which is a Sherman Max. It's a big wheel. It's about 90 pounds, and I'm loving it. So that is my main wheel now, and I am filming this video footage riding a Sherman Max, and I just love the wheel. We still have the V11. It's been repaired. It works. My husband has tested it, but I do prefer the Sherman Max. Okay, we are slowing down here, watching out for pedestrians. As I've mentioned in prior videos, you know, when you're on these trails, you do have to go at a safe speed, and when you do see pedestrians, dogs, kids, you need to slow down because you never know what they may do or what may happen. Okay, so we're just kind of continuing on here on this trail. Here's a fellow bike rider. When you see a bike rider, you want to form one line behind each other. or if anyone else is coming from the other side to get out of the way. Again, we are slowing down, watching out for dogs. You never know what they're going to do. They are trained to actually chase fast things like cars. So if you slow down, it's less of them, chasing you on the electric unicycle. Okay, so we are exiting the Lake Creek Park. We are making a left here on A.W. Grimes Boulevard, and we're getting to the street. So I am making a left here, and we are getting to the stoplight here at A.W. Grimes Boulevard and Creek Ridge at the MAA Ashton Oaks Apartments. Gonna stop here to wait for the crosswalk. So we're gonna stop here to wait for the crosswalk. Okay, we're ready to ride. Want to cross the street safely. Here we are, MAA Ashton Oaks. And we're continuing on. We are on A.W. Grimes Boulevard in Round Rock. And we're continuing on the East Brushy Creek Trail. Great trail. This is actually right after the ice storm that we had here in Texas. So just watch out. We got to watch out for items like that pole there on the right. And throughout the video, you will see tree branches scattered everywhere, and we'll be dodging those tree branches throughout the video. So they're still doing a lot of cleanup. It was unfortunate that we had that ice storm. It was pretty brutal. If, you ran out of power or internet, hopefully you got all that restored, and trying to clean up and get back to normal here. Okay, so we're making a left, and we're continuing on the East Brushy Creek Trail here. And this was basically in February 2023. We just did this ride. I believe it was last week. And I wanted to do some footage. And we are going to be, as I mentioned, filming in 4K now, since we have the capability to do that, to make for a better viewing experience as, a viewer of our YouTube channel, EUC in Austin. And we're kind of slowing down here for pedestrians. So again, you never know if there are dogs or kids around, what they're gonna do. So it's better to be safe. We're all about safety here on our video channel, riding safely as a family. Then once you pass the pedestrians, then you can kind of continue on and continue riding. So here we are here. There's another pedestrian, and we are just continuing on our ride here on this February day in 2023, right after the ice storm. There's the creek there on the left-hand side, and the creek follows the trail all the way. So it's kind of nice to have some waterfront as you ride. I just love riding and exploring and being one with nature. It's just a really fun experience. And as I mentioned before, we started riding in January 2022. All right. So here we are going through a tunnel. It's tunnel time. And whenever we go through a tunnel, we do slow down because, as I mentioned in other videos, you never know what's going to come on the other side. And on the other side, there's a pedestrian here. So just want to be safe and be careful and be mindful of other people, other pedestrians, other dogs, children when you are on these trails. And I think I had mentioned we had done another video of this. It was in 1080p. And if you'd like to watch that other video on the East Brushy Creek Trail, or earlier one, I will put it in the description of this video if you want to check it out and compare. The difference is this one is in 4K versus the other one was 1080p. So thank you so much for liking and subscribing to our channel, EUC in Austin. Thank you so much for continuing to watch our videos. We really appreciate it. And if you do know anyone who may be interested in our videos, may be interested in electric unicycle or some of the trails that we go on as a family, please let them know about our channel, EUC in Austin. Hopefully we'll get some more people liking and subscribing our videos, and I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Okay, so we are slowing down again, as I mentioned. Just watch out for pedestrians, and then once you pass them, as I've said before, then you can kind of, go at a faster speed if you'd like, but be safe at the same time. Okay, here we go here. And we are continuing on our ride. It's just a beautiful day. Throughout the video, you'll see the sky. There's some clouds here, but you'll see the sky turn blue actually in some parts of the video. Oh, there are some tree branches here on the left. So we got to be careful. We are dodging these tree branches the entire time here in this video. Okay, we are making a right here, and we are continuing on this East Brushy Creek Trail. This is one of our favorite trails now, as the time of this recording, one of our go-to trails here, this East Brushy Creek Trail. Looks like we are turning around. Okay, and we're gonna backtrack. I am actually riding here on the grass, getting back on the pavement here. And it's just nice, this trail being paved. Now there are trails that are not paved, but it gets kind of bumpy. But we just love these trails that are paved, like this trail, and you can be one with nature, meaning you don't see much of the street. You see more trees and more nature, and the creek having waterfront. It's just a really nice and fun trail. Lots of scenery here, this East Brushy Creek Trail here in Round Rock. And one of the other things that I want to mention, and I think I did mention that we like this East Brushy Creek Trail, is that the times that we've been on this trail, there haven't been that many people. It's not crowded, so we can actually really enjoy our ride. Yes, we do have to navigate around pedestrians, other bikers, kids, dogs, but it's not as crowded as maybe some other trails, more popular trails in the Austin, Texas area. Okay, so I did want to mention my husband does have his speaker on. His speakers are in his electric unicycle. So having music helps to make other people aware that you are approaching other pedestrians, like this pedestrian here on the right. Sometimes they may not be able to hear you. This pedestrian here on the right does have headphones. Also, they may be actually talking on the phone. So, that's just kind of one thing to keep in mind. But actually having, the music on does help to alert other people that you are approaching. And a lot of times they'll just kind of get out of the way, move out of the way for us. So it's just one of those riding etiquettes here. So again, here we are slowing down. There is someone here with their dog, and some pedestrians here with another dog on the right hand side. So we are backtracking it, and we made a U-turn, and we are approaching the tunnel. So again, we are slowing down, going through the tunnel here on our ride here on the East Brushy Creek Trail. As I've mentioned before, going through a tunnel, you don't know what's going to come out on the other side. Okay, here we are, and we are just kind of continuing on here, and it's just a nice day. Yes, there's a lot of cleanup because of the ice storm, so we do need to dodge these tree branches and anything that gets in the way. But it's kind of nice to kind of see the scenery. Here's the creek here on the right-hand side. So nice to have waterfront. This is just one of the things we just love doing as a family, just going out on the weekends when we have time. There is a lot of wind noise, and I apologize. It is part of riding, and I do have the volume down a little so that you can hear nature. I don't completely turn off the volume on these videos with my commentary, but I want you to hear, the surrounding areas. So there is kind of a lot of wind noise, but it is kind of part of riding. But as I was saying, we just love these rides that we have here. As a family, it's something that we all look forward to on the weekends when we do have time. And it actually helps me personally to relax as well too. So we've really enjoyed it. So here we are, we're making a left. And as I've mentioned before, you just kind of want to watch out for pedestrians going through this tunnel, slowing down, going through this tunnel because you don't know what's going to come out on the other side. So we're just kind of slowing down. And it's kind of neat having the music on going through the tunnel because it's like an amphitheater, and we are coming out on the other side of the tunnel. Okay, we are approaching Rab Park for the Play for All Abilities Park here in Round Rock. And if you saw our other video on the East Brushy Creek Trail, this will all look familiar to you. And we are getting close to the park here. So as we get closer to some of these places like the parks that people go to, you'll see much more pedestrians, many more dog walkers, kids. So there's just more obstacles that we have to get around, but that's not an issue. So here's the park here, the playground on the left, the Play for All Abilities Park. And it's a great park for kids. There's a zip line there on the left-hand side. My daughter loves riding the zip line, so it's just a fun experience, and it's free here, and courtesy of the city of Round Rock. And here's a parking lot here on the left, and then here's Rab House right here on the right-hand side, and we are continuing on. And as I mentioned, there's going to be a lot of pedestrians in these popular areas, so we're going to slow down here and watch out for pedestrians as we continue on our ride here on the East Brushy Creek Trail. Okay, and there are some tree branches there. We just want to be mindful of that. And as I said before, I'd rather avoid these obstacles in, our paths than run over them, because I don't want to injure myself. We don't want to injure ourselves, or we don't want to damage our wheels either. So that's just the kind of rider that I am. Personally, I would rather try to avoid any obstacles that get in the way. And here are some scooter kids, so we got to watch out. Here's another kid here on the left with a scooter. He is kind of wobbly, so you want to be extra careful when you are around, especially kids, and also strollers as well too, and even dogs. So, we're just kind of continuing on here. And if you look at the sky, it's actually a really nice day. It's a nice blue sky. Great day for a ride here. And here is another dog walker here. And we are kind of continuing on. So you see a lot of tree branches here. So we got to watch out on the right-hand side. They're trying to do some cleanup. Here is a jogger here, so we're going to slow down. When we are on these trails and there are pedestrians, there is a lot of, there are areas where we can actually speed up because there's no one else on the trail. But then we still do need to be aware of pedestrians, and that's why we have to kind of slow down when we see them. So there's a lot of speeding up, slowing down, speeding up. So here again, there are some pedestrians here. So we've got to slow down for these pedestrians. And then we can continue on. See, there's my husband and my daughter doing the riding technique, like I had mentioned before, called carving. And it just kind of gives you more stability as an electric unicycle rider, to do that carving. And you kind of bend your knees. And that's more when you're an intermediate rider, to give you more stability. So for us, since we've been riding for a year, we started January 2022, we are more intermediate riders. We ride every single week. Sometimes we try to ride every single day, but we've got a lot of experience at this point. So, and my daughter and my husband and me, we're all confident of our riding abilities here. So, okay, so we are approaching here some kids. Actually, one kid on a biker kid. So we got to watch out. And I believe the mom is on some roller skates or roller blades. Oh, fun. I did both as a kid. If you've watched our other videos, I roller skated and rollerbladed. Sounds like fun right now. And here we are, just kind of slowing down for these pedestrians. Okay, so we are continuing on our ride here on the East Brushy Creek Trail. It is a nice, I guess it's the winter day here, February 2023. Slowing down, watch out for dogs here. And this pedestrian, she made a comment, those are really cool. So we get a lot of that, being electric unicycle riders. It is kind of rare. It is a kind of a rare sighting. Oh, here's a fellow biker here. So we're riding in a straight line, one behind each other. It is kind of a rare sighting to see an electric unicycle rider at this point, and not to mention a family of electric unicycle riders. So when we get spotted, we get a lot of comments. We get people asking us questions, which is great. And one of the reasons we started this video channel, EUC in Austin, to share our experiences as a family riding the electric unicycle. Okay, we're going uphill here. We are continuing on. And if you saw our other video on the East Brushy Creek Trail, you'll remember this part. There's the convention center here on the right-hand side. So we are making a left here at this part. And we are on Kenny Fort Boulevard here in Round Rock. So we're just kind of continuing on the East Brushy Creek Trail. And we are on Kenny Fort Boulevard. And it is a nice day. The sky is clear. There's some clouds. If you look beyond those white clouds, right straight ahead, you'll see the blue in the sky. It's just amazing. We love being around nature and taking in all the scenery on these rides. And as I mentioned, it's just one of the things that we look forward to doing as a family on the weekend. Sometimes we try to go during the week as well too, on these rides and on these trails. So we really do enjoy it. So we're making a left here and the Coventry Homes sign here. And we are continuing on the East Brushy Creek Trail here in Round Rock. And I've mentioned this before, but if you have any questions about getting started as an electric unicycle rider, or you need an opinion on a certain electric unicycle you're looking at, feel free to drop them down, your questions, in the comments below this video. I'd love to hear from you. If you've been on this trail, the East Brushy Creek Trail, I'd love to hear your experience, whether you're a fellow electric unicycle rider, if you've ridden your e-bike or your scooter, or even a manual bike. If you've ever been on this trail, I'd love to hear your experience about it. Here's a fellow biker, and as again I mentioned, the etiquette is just kind of being in a straight line when you see someone coming from the other side. And then once they pass, then as you can see, we're kind of taking up the entire path here, which is fine if there's no one else around. So, but you just need to be aware of other people, other riders, also animals, when you're riding these trails. But like I was saying, yes, if you do have any questions about being an electric unicycle rider or anything at all, or just want to share your experience on this trail, this particular trail, or any other trails that you've been, feel free to drop a comment underneath this video. I'd love to hear from you. And thank you so much for continuing to watch our videos. Really appreciate it. If this is your first video that you're watching, we are an electric unicycle family group ride channel to share where we ride as a family. And we're based here in Austin, Texas. And here's some single family homes. We're getting into a residential neighborhood here. So again, if you saw our earlier video, which was shot in 1080p, you'll see that this is familiar. So here are some dog walkers here. Actually, one dog walker, but two dogs here. Kind of look like twins. And here is another pedestrian with a dog, another fellow dog walker. She's saying hi, and just a friendly pedestrian. We get a lot of people waving at us, saying hi. You know, it is a rare sighting, as I mentioned, to see an electric unicycle rider. And here's some kids. Sometimes the kids actually try to speed things up and race us, which we don't do. I don't race them, but it's all in fun. And the kids just love it when they see us. We're making a left here. We're heading towards the Joe B. Freeman Park. The kids just love it when they see us because some of them, they've never seen an electric unicycle or seen a family riding electric unicycles. So that's just one of those things. And there's the creek there, I believe, on the left-hand side. You'll see some waterfront. I just love being on this trail, being one with nature. It's one of our favorite trails now as the time of this recording. So we are slowing down. And as I mentioned, you just kind of want to watch out for pedestrians when you're on these trails, especially if you're on an electric vehicle like us, our electric unicycle. Here's some pedestrians. We slow things down, and then once we pass the obstacle, whether it's a pedestrian, kids, and the road is clear, the path is clear, then we can speed things up. We don't go too fast, but we just kind of speed it faster than if we're, slowing down for pedestrians. When we slow down for pedestrians, we're basically at a walking speed. Here is a fellow biker coming towards us. So, it's just one of the rules of the etiquette. Okay, the speakers are on. So again, as I mentioned, music helps to let others know that we're approaching. My husband has speakers in his electric unicycle. And we are continuing on. You will see a lot of tree branches here on the left-hand side. Oh my gosh, that's an entire tree. They're still cleaning up, and we are actually approaching some roller skaters here. My husband does have his music on. Oh, there are some scooter riders as well, too. So we are slowing things down at a walking pace here on our ride, and then once we pass them, we can speed things up. As long as there's no one else on the path, no other obstacles to get around, but we are good to go here. Oh, now we've got to slow things down. As I mentioned, it's like going a little bit faster, slow things down when we see pedestrians. Look at all those tree branches on the left-hand side. Yeah, it's a mess with the ice storm. It's unfortunate that we had that. I don't think we've had anything like that recently here in Texas. We did have the snowpocalypse, which the kids loved a few years ago. And they always love when it snows. You think, it snows in Texas? Yes, snowpocalypse that we had years ago. Here's a fellow bike rider. And you see my husband and my daughter, they are doing that riding technique. Again, it's called carving. So basically you're going from side to side to side on that riding technique, and it is called carving. Okay, now we are slowing again because there is a pedestrian approaching us, and at this point in the video there are some low tree branches here on the right hand side. Trying to dodge them, avoid them. I don't want to get hit in the eye with a tree branch. And when you are riding and there are these obstacles, it's always safer and best to ride slower than faster, because the last thing you want to do is run into an obstacle, run into a tree, run into a tree branch, accidentally run over something that you could have avoided if you're going at a slower speed. Okay, here's some pedestrians just waving to my husband and my daughter and me. We get that a lot. For the most part, everyone's been very friendly when they see us. Again, I think it is just a rare sighting to see an electric unicycle rider, because it is not that easy to learn how to ride it. But once you get it, it's just like riding a bike. But then also seeing a family of electric unicycle riders, it's pretty rare. Okay, so here's some pedestrians. We're kind of slowing things down. And we have arrived at the Joe B. Freeman Park here in Round Rock. So we are going through the park, continuing on our ride, the East Brushy Creek Trail here in Round Rock. So we are just going around the park at a nice speed. It's such a beautiful day. Look at the color of the grass. It's just so nice. Oh, there was a tree branch actually that got in the way. Look at all these branches here. This is crazy here on the right hand side. Okay, at this point in the video, there is a biker behind me trying to get my attention, wanting to talk to us. They may have questions about the electric unicycle. So I am going to actually stop here. We're going to take a rest stop and talk to the biker.
I was just curious if you guys usually ride here.
Okay, we are ready to ride. We are done talking to the biker. He just had a couple questions. Actually, he was a fellow electric unicycle rider, and he had actually just started a month ago. And he had told us that his ride was an InMotion V12 electric unicycle, which is a step up from what we have, the V11. So it's very interesting. He just kind of wanted to say hi, introduce himself, and ask us, if we rode here on this trail regularly. And we said, yeah, it's one of our favorite trails. So it's always nice to meet fellow electric unicycle riders. So here we are. We're ready to ride. And look at that sign on the right-hand side. Pretty cool. If you watched our other video on the East Brushy Creek Trail, you will notice that sign looks familiar because it was also in that video. Okay, so we're going at a walking pace here, and we are just going slow around these pedestrians. And we are just kind of backtracking. We are heading back the way we came from, and we are trying to find a way to get to Old Settlers Park. We kind of wanted to mix things up. We've been on this trail before, but one of the things we wanted to do was actually add, we would ride this trail, but add riding to Old Settlers Park as well too. Now we have ridden in Old Settlers Park on our electric unicycles, but we parked there at Old Settlers Park. So we wanted to actually ride to Old Settlers Park from the East Brushy Creek Trail. So you'll see my husband pulling out his phone, looking at his GPS, getting the maps out on this ride, because at this point in this video, we are heading towards Old Settlers Park. So will we get to Old Settlers Park? Well, let's watch the video and find out. Trying to find a route to get there. Okay, thank you so much for liking and subscribing our channel, EUC in Austin. Thank you for continuing to watch our videos. I really appreciate it. And again, if you know anyone else who may be interested in our channel or watching our videos of the electric unicycle and our experiences and stories riding as a family, this is a group riding channel, feel free to let them know. Hopefully we can get more people to like and subscribe our channel and our videos EUC in Austin. So thank you so much for watching our videos. We really appreciate it. Okay, we are slowing down here. Again, watch out for dogs. We get a lot of people waving at us. People just get really excited when they see us as a family riding the electric unicycle. So if you continue to watch, there's a fallen tree on the right hand side. Got to make sure. There's a squirrel. If you continue to watch our videos, which I hope you do, you'll see a lot of that. And it's just been a normal thing for us. People are very friendly when they see us as a family riding on our electric unicycle on our group rides on these trails. So it's very nice and it's pretty neat. And we always enjoy talking about all things electric unicycles and also riding as a group on these trails. One of the reasons why we created this video channel, EUC in Austin. So I hope you are enjoying our videos. Okay, we are continuing on the East Brushy Creek Trail here on our channel EUC in Austin. Like I mentioned, we are trying to get to Old Settlers Park, find a way to ride there safely to Old Settlers Park in Round Rock. So we're kind of just backtracking things here on the trail as we continue on. And you'll notice this looks familiar. We are making a right, backtracking. Here is that single family home development, residential neighborhood. And the sun is just coming out here through these clouds. So it's pretty nice to see the sun. You know, that's one of the reasons why we live in Texas. Love the sun. And here's some fellow joggers. So we are slowing down. My husband does have his speakers on. So if they're not wearing headphones, they should be able to hear the music. They're getting out of the way for us, which is nice. You know, for the most part, everyone is just very friendly when we are riding our electric unicycles. They get out of the way for the most part if they're going slower than us. So we do appreciate that. And we as riders, we make sure that we follow the rules of the road too. And that, we are respectful. There's a fellow biker with a reflection vest, which is always nice. Safety first. We are respectful of other pedestrians, kids, dogs, so that we follow the rules of the road as well too. So I hope you are enjoying the scenery here on our ride on the East Brushy Creek Trail here in Round Rock. I mean, I'm enjoying it, actually doing this video commentary and rewatching this footage. It is just a beautiful day. The sun is coming out, which is nice. In the earlier part of the video, you saw a lot of clouds, but the sky was blue still. But now it looks like the sun, as we continue on our ride, is actually coming through the clouds, which is very nice. And it was actually a nice day. It was very cold, but having the sun actually helps to warm things up. This is February 2023, so it is considered still winter here in Texas. So this is our winter, hopefully spring. I am ready for spring, not yet summer though. I'm not ready for summer weather. I'm ready for spring weather. Spring is going to come just around the corner. Hopefully that was the last of the storms, that crazy ice storm that we had here in Texas. The weather's been really weird lately these past couple of years if you live here. So who knows? You never know what the weather is going to bring, but hopefully we'll have more sunny days ahead, going into the spring. And as I mentioned at the time of this recording, this video commentary, this was February 2023, right after the ice storm we're riding. Okay, so we're making a right here, and we are getting onto Kenny Fort Boulevard. Continuing on, we are riding downhill. So when we do ride downhill, we slow things down because you always want to have control of the wheel. You don't want to be out of control. So it's better to slow things down and have control versus being fast and not having that control. And if you've seen our other video, or even the earlier part of the video, you'll notice the convention center again on the right hand side. We're going to pass that, and we're going to continue on our destination. Our next destination is Old Settlers Park in Round Rock. So this is our first time attempting to ride there from the East Brushy Creek Trail. So let's see how we're going to do it and if we can get there. Okay, again, the convention center here, there it is on the right hand side. I'm crossing the street, watching out for cars, and continuing on. This street, if you are curious, is Kenny Fort Boulevard that we're riding parallel to. And here is the Kalahari Resort here in Round Rock, and here's a car, and I'm making a motion that I'm crossing the street. I always do that. I make eye contact, and I think I had mentioned that in the other videos when we do cross the street and we do see cars, just so that I know that the driver that I'm crossing it can see us and has acknowledged us. So it's just one of the safety measures that I take when we ride. Okay, we are on Kalahari Boulevard and Kenny Fort Boulevard here, and we are crossing the street here. Here we are. And again, we are trying to find a way to get to Old Settlers Park, okay? And this is the first time that we're doing this, riding there from the East Brushy Creek Trail. We are on Kenny Fort Boulevard here in Round Rock. So you'll see my husband pulling out his phone, checking the maps, checking the GPS, as he's the one that's doing the navigation. So we will see how we will get to Old Settlers Park. And mind you, again, this is the first time that we're riding from the trail, so it should be interesting. Okay, so let's find a way to get to Old Settlers Park from where we're at. We are heading towards the 79, Highway 79, because Old Settlers Park is across Highway 79. So that's kind of where we're heading. At this point, we're getting towards this stoplight here, and I believe this is Joe DiMaggio Boulevard here in Round Rock. It looks like we're making a right here to continue on towards the 79 to get to Old Settlers Park. So again, we are on Joe DiMaggio Boulevard, and I'm crossing. If you see my head turning when we cross, that means I'm looking to see if there are cars. It's just a safety measure. I am, again, if you have any questions, on the GoPro 8. It's been a great camera for me to take these videos. If you have any questions about it, I'm very happy with the GoPro 8. It is an action camera, and it does great taking these videos, and I can shoot in 4K. So I am shooting in 4K now. Our other videos were 1080p. We were just kind of limited by storage and battery, so we got more batteries and more storage. So moving forward, our videos are going to be in 4K. So this is going to be our first 4K video for our channel, our video channel, EUC in Austin. Okay, here we are. Here's a retail shopping center, and we are trying to find a way to get to Old Settlers Park. And we are approaching Palm Valley Boulevard here in Round Rock. My husband is looking around to find a way to get over there. He's pointing to the left. That way, trying to find a way to get there safely to Old Settlers Park. So it looks like we are still trying to find a way to get there. And this is a retail shopping center here on the right. Doesn't look like there's a crosswalk to cross that highway. So we are making a right here, and it looks like we're heading back, and we are just going to backtrack things. So we've got to find another way to get to Old Settlers Park because it doesn't look like we can cross that highway. We didn't see a crosswalk. So we're heading back, and I'm going to try to find a way to get to Old Settlers Park in Round Rock. So if you are curious, we're back on Joe DiMaggio Boulevard in Round Rock, heading towards Kenny Fort Boulevard, where we came from, to find another way to get to Old Settlers Park in Round Rock. So we are continuing on, and this is just one of the things as an electric unicycle rider, you find new neighborhoods, especially when you're exploring and you're trying to find things, and it's your first time riding a certain trail, going a certain route. That's kind of what's part of the adventure about riding on an electric unicycle, which is kind of exciting and fun. You know, discovering new neighborhoods and finding new areas to ride, even though it's by accident, you know. So sometimes we've done that as a family riding on the electric unicycle. So we are kind of backtracking here. My husband is looking at his phone, checking the maps, and looks like we are going to go back, and we're going to make a left to get back on Kenny Fort Boulevard. So we are going back here, and we are here on Kenny Fort Boulevard, backtracking to find a way to get to Old Settlers Park safely. So we're going back the way we came from. We're on Kenny Fort Boulevard in Round Rock, and we are heading towards, I believe it was Kalahari Boulevard, which is going to be the next crosswalk, to find a way to get to Old Settlers Park in Round Rock. So as you can see, this is pretty much what street riding looks like, and as I mentioned, we like to ride trails. We don't really like to ride the streets. I don't like to see a lot of concrete, you know, unless we're in that exploring mode, but even then I'd rather that it be safe and there be a dedicated trail for that. I don't like to ride on the street. I just don't feel as safe, you know, being around cars that way. It is a skill. There are people who ride electric unicycles on the street. It's just a different way of riding. We ride more to explore, to go on trails as a family, and of course we do want to be safe when we ride our electric unicycles. Okay, here we are here at Kalahari Boulevard, and we are going to stop here and wait for the crosswalk. Okay, we're ready to ride. We are crossing the street here on Kalahari Boulevard. We just made a left here, and so we are on Kalahari Boulevard in Round Rock. There's the Kalahari Resort, and there's a convention center on the right hand side. So we are continuing on trying to find a way to cross that Highway 79 to get to Old Settlers Park, because Old Settlers Park is on the other side of Highway 79 in Round Rock. So we're just kind of continuing on trying to find a way. This is our first time doing this to get to Old Settlers Park. So hopefully we can get there safely. So we will see as we continue on and you watch this video, and I continue to do the video commentary on this video. So I hope you are enjoying the scenery and taking in, you know, what you see in these videos. Now this is more street riding here. Oh, there's the Dell Diamond there on the left hand side. If you can see, I'm pointing it out. That's where we need to get to, because that's where the Old Settlers Park is. It does connect to Dell Diamond. So my husband is looking at his phone trying to figure out a way to get there. We're getting to another crosswalk, Harrell Parkway in Round Rock. So just kind of waiting here, waiting to cross the street at Harrell Parkway. I'm mounting the EUC, crossing the street. Watch out for cars. Here's a car here. You got to navigate around here. Couldn't go on the other side. And we are crossing, and we just need to watch out for cars. So there's Highway 79 in front of us, and we are trying to figure out a way to get there. It's right across the street. We are so close. There is Dell Diamond. There's Old Settlers Park right there. And unfortunately, it is very busy, and it just doesn't look from our vantage point that there is actually a safe way to cross Highway 79. We don't see a crosswalk to get across the street. So at this point, it's really going to be difficult to get to Old Settlers Park safely, because there is no crosswalk. There's no way to get across safely on our wheels unless we just ride the road, which this is a very busy street. We do have a daughter. We're a family. We just don't feel comfortable crossing. So we were there so close. We're just going to have to head back. And at this point in the video, we are backtracking. So I'm so sorry we couldn't make it to Old Settlers Park. Hopefully, maybe one of these days, the city of Round Rock, I don't know, it's very busy. Maybe there could be a tunnel or some way to have a crosswalk there. But Old Settlers Park is right there on the right-hand side. We were so close, but unfortunately, there's not a way to get there safely. So we are crossing the street here, and again, you just want to watch out for cars. And, you know, we're just going to go back. Okay. At least we tried. At least we know, you know, the situation of getting there. We are back on Kalahari Boulevard here in Round Rock. And I'm sorry that we weren't able to get to Old Settlers Park. We may film that in a future video of our ride, because I do plan to get some footage there and ride there at Old Settlers Park for our video channel, EUC in Austin. So at this point in the video, we are heading back. Okay, so we are gonna head back now, and we're gonna get to the end of our ride. Unfortunately, we were not able to get to our destination of Old Settlers Park, but at least at this point, we know what it takes to get over there. It's just not safe to cross. So we're heading back. We're passing the convention center on the left-hand side. We just passed the Kalahari Resorts here, and we are gonna just go ahead and get back on the trail, the East Brushy Creek Trail, where we started. So we're gonna go back to where we started at the Lake Creek Park. So we are backtracking here, and we're making a left here on Kenny Fort Boulevard. So we're pretty much going back where we came from. And unfortunately, we weren't able to get to Old Settlers Park. So we are on Kenny Fort Boulevard here in Round Rock, just heading back. My husband's having a conversation with my daughter there as we, head back. And I'm asking my daughter if she wants a boba milk tea after a ride. She said yes, most definitely. A lot of times my husband and my daughter, I'm a coffee drinker, they both love having a boba milk tea after our ride. So we will go and have that afterwards. Just kind of a treat, something for her to look forward to as well too, after our rides on our electric unicycle. Okay, we are passing the Kalahari Resorts and the convention center here on the left, crossing the street, looking out for cars, and trying to find our way back to the East Brushy Creek Trail here in Round Rock. So thank you so much for watching our journey and our adventure this time around, and maybe one day we'll be able to get some footage of the old Settlers Park riding from East Brushy Creek Trail if we can figure out a way to get there safely. But I will definitely plan on having some footage of old Settlers Park in the future. So we are heading back, and here we are. We're back on the East Brushy Creek Trail. As you can see, it's a nice day. The sun is out. The sky is blue. And there are a lot of people out here, some pedestrians. So we are going at pretty much walking speed here. This is a skill to have as a rider of electric unicycle. There's some kids there with scooters here, so you got to be very careful. Here's some more kids here with bikes. Oh, they're walking it up. I guess it's a little bit going uphill here. That's one of the things, the benefits of having an electric vehicle. Oh, there's that kid there on the right walking his bike up. That since it is an electric vehicle, those times where, you are going at those steep inclines or steeper inclines, you have that power if you need it. Okay, we are back on the East Brushy Creek Trail here in Round Rock on our video channel EUC in Austin. Thank you so much for watching this video. I have a lot of other videos to go through and edit, so stay tuned. A lot of videos from our trip in California during the holidays in December 2022. And then I also have some other videos of our group rides. We actually ride with another family, and then they invite other families. They're more bikers, manual bikes, of some of our group rides in South Austin, in the Zilker Park area. We also rode downtown. So a lot of video footage I have to go through. So stay tuned for that. And if you do want to get updated and notified when we do have new videos, be sure to subscribe to our channel, EUC in Austin. Okay, here we are here. We've got some pedestrians here. Oh, there's someone with a stroller. My husband has his speakers on. Again, music helps. They got out of the way for us. Very nice. Just part of the riding etiquette, as I've mentioned in the past. There my husband and my daughter go with their carving, which I've mentioned is a riding technique. And here is a fellow jogger just having a nice jog out here on a nice day in February 2023. So I can't believe it's been a year since we've been riding our electric unicycles. As I mentioned before, we started in January 2022, and at the time of this recording, it is February 2023. And it's been a year, and we've learned so much. And at this point, we are more intermediate riders because we've ride so much. We've got that experience. My daughter is confident on the electric unicycle. My husband is also very confident, as me as well, on the electric unicycle. So at this point, our skills are very polished. I'm sure we have a lot more to learn, more advanced riding techniques, but at this point, we're very confident riding around pedestrians and moving around obstacles on these trails when we ride. Okay, there is the creek there on the left-hand side. It is so beautiful, such a nice day. And so nice to have some waterfront here on this ride on the East Brushy Creek Trail in Round Rock. It is just nice to actually ride alongside waterfront. And I'll try to have some more videos where we ride and you do see the water, just like our ride in Orange County where we rode to the Salt Creek Beach on the Salt Creek Beach Trail. If you missed that video, it's a beautiful trail. If you're ever in the Orange County Dana Point area, be sure to check out that video. So I just wanted to mention that. So here we are. We're kind of backtracking here. This probably looks very familiar if you've been watching this video. We are just going back. We're heading back to where we started, where we parked at the Lake Creek Park in Round Rock. So we're just kind of backtracking things, going back as we continue on our ride here on the East Brushy Creek Trail. So here's the parking lot here on the right, and we've got Rab House here on the left hand side. Here you will see Rab House, and this is a nice place to start too if you want to ride. If you have an electric unicycle, a bike, a scooter, or just want to go for a stroll, this is a nice place to start as well too. My husband decided to do some exploring here at Rab House because we've never seen this. I actually didn't know what it was, but as we actually ride behind Rab House, you'll kind of have more of an idea. I have more of an idea of what exactly is Rab House. I haven't looked it up. If you've been here for an event, let me know. I'd love to hear your comments, your experiences. But we're looking here on the left, and it looks like there's some type of amphitheater of sorts where either play or stories, a very small area for speaking, a place where maybe the kids could see a play here behind Rab House. So just kind of wanted to check that out. And we are backtracking, so it looks like we are going to make a left here, and we're back at the Play for All Abilities Park here in Round Rock, and you'll see the playground here on the right hand side. Really fun playground for the kids. There's the zip line. And as I mentioned, my daughter loves going on the zip line, and this is just a great playground. So if you do have kids, you're looking for a place to take the kids, to play around, you may want to check this out. Again, it's called the Play for All Abilities Park, Rab Park here in Round Rock, Texas, and it's all free, courtesy of the city of Round Rock. So we are just kind of exiting the Rab Park, the Play for All Abilities Park, heading back, continuing on the East Brushy Creek Trail to get back to where we started, which is the Lake Creek Park in Round Rock, Texas. And we are crossing the street. Again, you just want to watch for cars. You see moving my head. There's a public storage there. Okay, here we go. Tunnel time. So whenever we see a tunnel, we always slow down because, as I mentioned, you never know what's going to come out on the other side of the tunnel. So you may be able to hear my husband's music through his speakers because I do keep the volume on in these video commentaries. So it's kind of neat when you go through a tunnel and you hear the music. It's kind of like a little concert because everything is amplified being in the tunnel. All right, we're making a right here, heading back, and we're back on A.W. Grimes Boulevard here in Round Rock. And we're just going at a nice, safe speed. You could see straight ahead there, it looks like a police car. Something happened up ahead, and you will see these things as you become more of a rider regularly. Oh, there's that object on the left that we had to dodge. It looks like there is a car accident here on the left-hand side, unfortunately. So we are on A.W. Grimes Boulevard, passing this car accident here on this February day. Just need to dodge. There's items on the ground. Someone's phone there. Oh my goodness, it looks pretty bad. That's one of the reasons why we are all about safety, especially as a family. We're gonna stop here because we need to wait for the crosswalk. Okay, we're ready to ride. We are crossing the street. But like I was saying, that's one of the reasons we don't want to get injured. We don't want to get in an accident. We are more concerned about safety being electrical unicycle riders. So that's very important and at the top of our priority as EUC electric unicycle riders as a family, especially since we do have a daughter. Okay, we are making a right here and we are going back towards Lake Creek Park. And we are almost done. We are almost done at the end of our ride. So again, I just kind of want to say thank you so much for watching and continuing to watch our videos here on our video channel, EUC in Austin. We really appreciate it. And if you have any questions, again, drop them in the comments below. Or if you have any comments, you want to share your experiences as an electric unicycle rider, I'd love to hear your stories. If you have any suggestions on other trails you want us to ride, we are based in the Austin, Texas area, but perhaps there's a trail that you'd love to see us ride here. Feel free to let us know, or maybe in our travels. We do have, as I mentioned, family and friends in California. So if you're watching this and you're familiar with California, if there are any trails that or places you think we should ride, are electric unicycles that you've ridden before or you're just kind of curious about, feel free to share your comments in the comments below this video. I'd love to hear your thoughts. But it is just a nice day. Now, heading back, there are a lot of tree branches here. Trees are great, for coverage because there is a lot of sun here in Texas, but it's just when we have these types of things like the ice storm and it involves a lot of cleanup where we have to kind of be careful with things. So you'll see us dodging a lot of branches that still need to be cleaned up. There's some on the side there, but also sticking out, as you don't want to get injured on a ride. And I think I had mentioned the other day I was actually riding and I almost a branch hit me in the eye, but good thing I was going at a slow speed. I was able to slow down. It's just overreaching because of the ice storm. So, they're trying to clean up as much as they can, but there's only so much they can do at the pace that they're going. So, just trying to get things back to normal here. But we are heading back here where we started to the Lake Creek Park. That's where we parked, in the parking lot. And on the right here, you will see again the dog depot on the right hand side in Round Rock. If you've been there, you've taken your dog, let me know. I'd love to hear your experience. As I had mentioned, I have yet to take our dog here to the dog depot on the right hand side in Round Rock, but it does look like a fun place to take our dogs. So dogs look like they're always having fun at the dog depot. Okay, so we're getting back to Lake Creek Park here in Round Rock. This is kind of where we started. My husband and my daughter's having a conversation. That's why we're kind of going slow. And as I mentioned, we are more intermediate riders at this point, so we're very confident of going at a walking pace. Got to be careful. There are a lot of tree branches. Oh, here we're kind of dodging, hanging low, getting into the video camera as we enter the Lake Creek Park. So we just kind of got to watch out. See these branches here on the right-hand side. Just avoid them instead of running into them and you'll be good to go. Okay, here's the basketball court on the left-hand side. And more tree branches we got to watch out for. So we are just going around it, going to avoid it. Look at this, And oh my goodness, I had to dodge that. Almost done with our video here. So here's the playground here at Lake Creek Park, as you can tell, and here's the pool on the right hand side, the Lake Creek Park pool, or the Lake Creek pool at Lake Creek Park. And we're pretty much all done. So thank you so much for watching this video. I will see you in the next one. Have a good one. Thank you.